Hi, PerspectiveWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Friday, August 28th. A lot to talk about this morning. We have the potential of some more tropical troubles. We'll talk about that, as well as the very active weather pattern here for the Mid-Atlantic region over the next 36 hours or so. There can be a strong to severe thunderstorm at just about any time in the Mid-Atlantic region from later on today into tomorrow evening. We'll have to deal with the added influence of tropical moisture from the remains of Hurricane Laura on Saturday into Saturday evening. That certainly can enhance the chance for some heavy rainfall at times from late tonight through early tomorrow night. All of that activity over the next 36 hours or so in the Mid-Atlantic region will be followed by a spectacular air mass on Sunday. The return of sunshine on Sunday and very comfortable temperatures and humidity levels. That nice air mass will stick around for Monday, and then we'll get back into an unsettled weather pattern for Tuesday and Wednesday with a renewed threat in the Mid-Atlantic region for additional showers and thunderstorms. Let's start off this morning by looking at the radar map from Telecast.com for the U.S. and a couple main areas I want to point out before we play the loop of the radar images, and then we'll talk about the tropics. First of all, lots of activity here across the northern U.S. and the basic movement of this is to the south and east, and multiple systems we're dealing with here over the next few days. First of all, we have a strong upper level low that will be dropping from southern part of Canada across the Great Lakes into the Mid-Atlantic region on Saturday, and it will have a strong cold frontal system associated with it as well. And there are plenty of showers and thunderstorms already on the map this morning, and there can be a scattered severe thunderstorm this afternoon and tonight in the Mid-Atlantic region. That threat will continue on Saturday and Saturday evening as well. This area right here of showers and embedded thunderstorms represents the remains of Hurricane Lawrence, now just a tropical depression. It will tend to move to the east-northeast over the next 24 hours and will certainly play a role in the Mid-Atlantic region right in here on Saturday. Basically, its tropical moisture will tend to get absorbed by that incoming upper-level trough, that incoming strong frontal system, enhancing the chance for some heavy rainfall, maybe even some severe weather on Saturday and Saturday night. Let's move this into motion. You'll see right now these storms across the extreme northwestern part of Pennsylvania and the eastern Great Lakes, basically moving east-southeast, and they certainly can arrive in the Mid-Atlantic region later on today, especially north of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. And again, there can be some scattered strong to severe thunderstorm activity associated with this particular system. We could see kind of a rotation going on here with the tropical depression. Again, the tropical moisture associated with the remains of Hurricane Lawrence. Well, certainly no time to rest in terms of the potential of some tropical activity. We have a Laura now, which has been downgraded to a tropical depression, sitting right in this region right here. And again, it will basically take a movement to the east-northeast over the next 24 hours or so, and its moisture will get intertwined with the incoming frontal system. That frontal system and trough will be dropping to the southeast from the northwest, and the Mid-Atlantic region, as a result, could have some heavy rainfall anytime from late tonight into tomorrow evening, and that will also come with the chance of some strong to severe thunderstorm activity. Meanwhile, take a look here. We have two new waves to monitor over the next several days. The first wave looks like it'll head into the Caribbean Sea. A little too early to say about the second wave. One of the main points I wanted to make yesterday is that the door is opening for a hit along the East Coast, especially the southeast coast, anywhere from Florida to the Carolinas over the next 5 to 10 to 15 days or so. We have had very strong ridging in the southwestern Atlantic, and that kind of forced the past couple of tropical systems to take a southern route. Marco, Laura, all into the Gulf of Mexico. This high pressure region will tend to be displaced farther to the north here over the next 5 to 10 days or so, up across northeastern U.S., maybe southeastern part of Canada, and that will tend to open the door for a system to perhaps strike the east coast of the U.S., especially the southeast coast of the U.S., from the Carolinas to the east coast of Florida. Maybe this particular system right in here is something we'll have to watch closely as we go through next week into the following week. But again, the tropical troubles are certainly not over with yet. Normally, from a climatological point of view, the peak is reached in the middle part of September, so we're not even at that point yet. Well, I wanted to show this temperature change map in sea surface temperatures over the last 7 days. Quite interesting indeed. We've talked about how the whole purpose of tropical cyclones in terms of nature is really to redistribute the heat from the tropics towards the poles. These hurricanes are kind of heat machines, and again they form as a result of very warm waters over the tropics, and then basically try to balance things out in terms of the overall heat distribution around the world. Nature is always trying to balance things out, and one of the ways to try to balance out the heat distribution is through tropical cyclones. And another balancing act that goes on within nature is that while the very warm sea surface temperatures actually can contribute to a tropical system intensifying right above it, that same enhancement and that same intensifying tropical system can in turn cool down the sea surface temperatures through the process called upwelling, that basically results in colder water from underneath rising up to the surface with all the churning that's going on underneath a tropical system. Look what has happened here in the Gulf of Mexico. We had two tropical systems that basically went in the same general area, Marco and Laura, which ended up making landfall right in here. Certainly Laura turned out to be the more intense storm, and both of these caused some upwelling, caused some colder water to rise up to the top from underneath, and the result is a drop in temperatures over the last 7 days, and even to below normal levels. This is just the anomaly map, but having looked at the actual temperatures, there are some below normal temperatures right now in the Gulf of Mexico, especially the northern Gulf of Mexico. Now this is just a temporary effect, but it's something interesting to watch, and certainly for the next several days, the Gulf of Mexico sea surface temperatures will be quite a bit reduced compared to what they were a week ago or so. And again, this is some of the warmest water around the world at this time, with temperatures at 30, 31 degrees Celsius, at least before these particular tropical systems hit Marco and Laura. Now, another point I want to make here is that sea surface temperatures are just one factor of many in terms of intensification. Again, both of these systems moved over the same very warm sea surface waters, sea surface temperatures earlier this week, in just a day or two apart. But Marco disintegrated rapidly, whereas Laura intensified rapidly. And the difference was the atmospheric conditions, the environmental conditions, specifically wind shear. Wind shear became quite strong in the environment surrounding Marco, helped to prevent it from ever reaching hurricane status, and actually helped it to dissipate very quickly in a couple of days. That same wind shear was basically non-existent when Laura moved over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, and that allowed Laura to rapidly intensify. So in this particular case, the atmospheric conditions outweighed the sea surface temperature anomalies. Well, before we take a look at the surface forecast maps from the operational run of the GFS, I wanted to show the 500 millibar height anomaly forecast maps. That happens to be from the ensemble run of the European model at 0Z last night. Again, I wanted to point out a very significant change that is about to occur in the upper atmosphere, especially over the northeast U.S., and that could open the door for some tropical strikes along the east coast, especially the southeast coast from the Carolinas all the way to southern Florida. First of all, this is the average over the current 5-day period that we're in, the average of the 500 millibar height anomalies. Blue here represents below normal heights. Basically, we've had kind of upper level troughing situated over the northeast U.S. over the past few days and over the next few days. But look what happens as we get out to days 6 to 10 here. This is going into September now, and the pattern really flips with high pressure ridging across the New England coastline, the maritime provinces of Canada. So quite a change from what we see right now to what will be the case most likely 5 to 10 days or so. And again, winds blow clockwise around high pressure ridging. So if you have high pressure situated up here, even in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, you tend to have a wind flow like this, and that opens the door for tropical activity, tropical strikes from the east along the eastern seaboard, especially from the Carolinas down to southern Florida. So a big change about to occur over the next 5-10 days or so in terms of the 500 millibar pattern. That could ultimately have an impact on where tropical systems go. Instead of the Gulf of Mexico, perhaps more of a threat along the east coast, especially the southeast coastline. Well, let's walk through the surface forecast maps. Again, two areas of interest here for the eastern part of the nation. First of all, the remains of Hurricane Laura, now Tropical Depression Laura, over northern Arkansas, and all of this activity associated with an incoming upper level trough. And behind that, very pleasant air mass associated with the Canadian high pressure system. But this area right here we saw on radar could result in some strong to severe thunderstorm activity in the mid-Atlantic region anytime from this afternoon into tomorrow evening. And combine that with the moisture left behind here by Hurricane Laura, and we could have some heavy rainfall at times, especially late tonight, tomorrow, into early tomorrow night. Let's move forward here, and here we go. Again, most of this is moving east-southeast, could reach the I-95 corridor late in the day or early tonight. And here is the center of what remains of Hurricane Laura by late tonight, moving across the Tennessee Valley into the Ohio Valley, and up to the north. We're going to have this strong cold frontal system with backed up by a very strong upper level trough. Let's move forward here, go into the day on Saturday. It's harder to tell now, but this is the tropical moisture associated with the remains of Laura. And here's a low pressure area up over the Great Lakes, and a cold front squeezing a lot of that moisture out. And again, there can be some heavy rainfall at times in the mid-Atlantic region, even into the northeast U.S., kind of an enhanced chance because of that tropical moisture that will get involved, get absorbed by this incoming frontal system. Low pressure to the north associated with that upper level trough that again drops southeast from south central Canada across the Great Lakes and into the northeast. And then we have the strong frontal passage, probably early tomorrow night in the I-95 corridor region. So the threat for rain will diminish in the evening on Saturday, and then in the overnight hours there will be some clearing skies, noticeably different air mass by late Saturday night, early Sunday morning in the mid-Atlantic region, in the northeast U.S. It'll be much more comfortable in terms of temperatures and humidity levels, and all backed up by a strong, beautiful Canadian high pressure system over the southeastern part of Canada on Sunday morning. There'll be a stiff breeze out of the northwest on Sunday, but it will be bringing in some very comfortable air for this time of the year. Again, comfortable temperatures, perhaps highs confined to the 70s in much of the I-95 corridor region. And that air mass sticks around as we get into Monday. Very comfortable day on Monday as well. Probably partly sunny skies. There will be a tendency for the clouds to increase late in the day. Becomes unsettled again in the Mid-Atlantic region for Tuesday and Wednesday with a renewed threat of showers and thunderstorms. So a lot going on, potential for more tropical troubles over the next week or two, and in the next 36 hours the Mid-Atlantic region has a strong to severe thunderstorm threat, and even some heavy rain is possible on late tonight, tomorrow, into early tomorrow night, associated with the leftover tropical moisture from Hurricane Laura. That's it for now. For PerspectiveWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.